Okay, something I want to talk about. Daisy Ridley. I think Daisy Ridley in the past has been really cool with fans, you know? She's been really cool with fans. She's always said, like, you know, got support of fans. You know, she's always just said the basics about what's going on with, like, you know, the Rey movie. Or, like, you know, what's going on behind the scenes in general, but in a positive way. However, unfortunately, a recent thing she said was basically, you know, if you don't like Rey, well, it's because you're an old white man and, you know, you just hate women, basically. You know, she said, this is exactly what she said. So in this article, she says this. Basically, the main bit is here. Following the admission from Ridley that the spotlight felt less intimidating this time, which, okay. Why are these interviewers so immature? Whatever. This time around, thanks to her experience having handled press tour duties for the sequel trilogy, the actor was eventually asked by Golhan. Okay. Sorry if I'm butchering that name. The way that some fans received Rey was very violent. Wow. How is it violent? You just don't like the character in this sense. The term is referring to violently negative emotions rather than any actual physical actions. Did you ever have that feeling? And Daisy goes, No. I think that certain people have expressed negativity, but I don't give it much attention. And, like, it should have ended there, but then she goes, because it doesn't really concern me, she added. I can't change the way some men look at women. That's unfortunately how society functions. And then overall, I have been very well received. I've made the choice to concentrate on the positive. Now that's some bullshit. You can't say something like, oh, well, I can't change the way that some men look at women, and then say, well, I have been very well received. You can't say those things put together. It doesn't make sense. Like, she's trying to make it out as though, like, some people have actually said to her that they don't like Rey because, you know, she's a woman, by saying overall. But no one has said this. No one has said this. No one has said this. Like, even if she believed this, which isn't true, but even if she believed this, saying certain people is a lot better than saying what she actually says next. Now, I think this is stupid, and I genuinely believe Disney has told her to do this. I don't know why they like to cause drama, but they like to cause drama. They've done this with so many different actors, and I don't know why. It could only causes problems. If you're gonna cause drama, people are probably not gonna watch your product. So why are you doing it? If the Rey movie even happens, then people wouldn't have liked it anyway, because people don't like the character. But now you go and do this? Mental. I mean, this has happened with every actor at Disney, but let's focus on the Star Wars ones. You got Amanda Stenberg, who recently said, oh, she's been getting racist comments, right? But, I mean, maybe that's true, maybe it's not, I don't know for a fact. But what I will say is, she says it, but she hasn't shown it. Something similar happened when Kenobi came out, and, you know, there was a actress, Moses Ingram, but there's a big difference. She actually showed evidence of her getting hate and her getting racist comments. She actually did a story and she exposed these people.
Long story short, there are hundreds of those. Hundreds. You know, there's nothing anybody can do about this. There's nothing anybody can do to stop this hate. And so I question what my purpose is, and even being here in front of you saying that this is happening, I don't really know. But I think the thing that bothers me is that, like, sort of this feeling that I've had inside of myself, which no one has told me, but this feeling of like, I just gotta shut up and take it. You know, I just kind of gotta bear it. And I'm not built like that. So I really just wanted to come on, I think, and say thank you to the people who show up for me in the comments and the places that I'm not gonna put myself. And to the rest of y'all weird.
And therefore, you know, she got support, which was really good. And I was actually someone who saw the story at the time. I also, you know, sent her a message saying, like, you know, just imagine basically that you're like an inquisitor and you're like, you know, slicing these racists up and stuff like that. You know, just sent her a nice message. But the point is, like, she actually showed that she was getting hate, and because of that she got a lot of support. I don't know if Amanda has obviously had any racist comments because she's not really shown it, and I don't know if she can be bothered to do that. But what I'm basically saying is I think she should, if it's true, because then she would get the support like Moses did. Because Moses said she has hundreds of these comments. So, you know, all Amanda would have to do is show a few. Because Disney are constantly making drama, people are not going to believe you so easily. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is, you know. But that with Amanda Stenberg, she's saying it, but she's not showing it, you know. Which is, now I'm not saying it's, like, not true. I'm just saying it's kind of weird that she's not really showing it and she's just kind of saying it, you know what I mean? Because she's not been the only one to randomly just say this but not show it. So then people question it. Oh, okay. How come, you know, like, you clearly have, like, Moses Ingram, who's clearly actually going through it and has, you know, been getting all these horrible comments, which nobody deserves. Like, even if you don't like something, you know, you don't go for the actors, you don't, like, attack them personally or anything like that. And so it's just, like, it's weird that, you know, these, like, actors are claiming they're getting hate, but they're not showing it or providing it, which is really weird because it's really easy to do, as you've seen. Oh, you know, you screenshot you, and yeah, you know, I mean, really easy to do. You'll get a lot of these really big, like, corporation people saying things, but there's no evidence for it. Kathleen Kennedy is probably the most famous for this. She's constantly saying something about men and how, like, you know, women are seen in a bad way or it's really hard for women. I mean, look what she said here. She said, my belief is that the storytelling does need to be representative of all people. That's an easy description for me, Kennedy said, before admitting it's terrifying to work in a franchise like Star Wars today. Opening with these giant franchises now, with social media, and the level of expectation is terrifying. I think Leslie has struggled a little bit with it. I think a lot of the women who step into Star Wars struggle with this a bit more because of the fan base being so male dominated. they sometimes get attacked in ways that can be quite personal. What's crazy about this, as I was making this video, Disney are being sued by Elon Musk because they're actually pretty against having white males play any roles in Disney.
Certainly, there have been times where, there's no way we're hiring a white male person.
Just kind of unspoken.
There are times when it's spoken, but
How would they say it?
there's no way we're hiring a white male.
So, if anyone is against anyone, it's Disney, not the fans. And it's really weird, Like, you'll be getting, like, Kathleen Kennedy saying, oh, lots of fans are sexist, lots of fans are, they hate women, but there's no evidence for it. And I'm not saying people like that don't exist, I'm just saying the people that are saying it exists, there's no evidence for it. Like, they're saying, basically, like, the majority of the Star Wars fandom would be, like, sexist or would hate women, but, and they'd say YouTubers specifically, but a big part of the YouTube system is that you having videos on the system, which means the videos they're talking about, you can clearly see and hear what they're saying. And so where's the evidence? You know what I mean? They'll say one thing, but there's no evidence for it. So it's kind of weird where you have, most of these people saying things, but there's no evidence. So they're just saying lies, basically, to cause drama. Like, and it's just, I don't understand why they do this, because it never goes well. Why do they do this? It's not gonna help your product, so why are you attacking the fans? I don't get it. Why are you saying something that that isn't true? It's not like the Moses Ingram situation where it is true. And she's asking for help, and she got their help. You know what I mean? By lots of fans. That's a completely different situation. This is a situation where these people that have just been in something that they're trying to promote, at the same time, they're attacking the fans that are their audience for the product that they just made. So it doesn't make sense, does it? I don't understand why they do this. The Moses Ingram situation is a big highlight to all of this to me, because she was obviously someone who got hate. She didn't deserve it. She was asking for help, and she got help. Lots of people supported her. Lots of people, gave her that support because she asked for it, rightly so, right? But yeah, I mean, that shouldn't have happened in the first place. Unfortunately, that's something that comes with acting. You'll always get people like racist people, like sexist people. That's always going to happen. And it's really unfortunate, but that's just the way the world works. But, yeah. So, you get a company like Disney that like to use these things in a really disturbing way. And they like to flip it in a way to get attention. And they're using it that point at much. When you say the word, I've been like attacked by sexism, I've been attacked by racism, it then loses the value to when someone who's actually been a victim of it. You know what I mean? And so I really don't like how Disney gets all these actors to say these things. And I do think that my theory where Disney are making all these actors say these things for drama and so that people will talk about it. So that the more people talk about it, it can get potential viewers who have never seen Star Wars into, Star Wars. And I think that's why they're doing it. Because, this is really out of character for Daisy Ridley. And so I think this is the strongest evidence that suggests that, Disney are doing it to literally make, drama. I just think it's a shame. I think because I feel like Disney know at this point they're not really good at making products, right? So if they can't get new viewers in that way, they'll go a really fucked up way and they'll make drama out of nothing. And it's just really unfortunate because, this can potentially do a lot of damage to people, Can do a lot of damage to YouTubers. Calling someone something like a racist or a sexist or a bigot, whatever you want to call them, it is really damaging. It's character assassination, and that can potentially ruin careers. There are people who go on like YouTube and, they're trying to, it's a job, they get money because of a certain amount of views they make. Well, not me, because I'm a small YouTuber. I don't know, maybe one day. But a lot of these big YouTubers is what they go for, Disney. And I just think it's really fucked up because it's, just because someone doesn't like something and they have an opinion on it doesn't mean they're like a sexist or, racist or any type of phobe that they call them. And it's just really, it's a real shame that Disney are going that low, to get this sort of attention. And so the reason why I think Daisy Ridley have said this is generally because I think, Kathleen Kennedy has given a shit ton of money just to cause some drama and get some people talking. And it never works. It never works. I mean, I just don't understand it. I mean, I said in my last video, why do a Rey movie in the first place? People don't like Rey, If you want to watch that video, you can do. I talk about my thoughts on the Rey movie and what I think they should do with it. But yeah, I just think it's just really disrespectful to people who have actually gone through it, and it's just wrong, really, to attack someone who doesn't deserve it, and, yeah. Or attack anyone, really. I mean, even if someone is attacking someone, you shouldn't really attack that someone either, because then you're going on their level. If someone is attacking someone, that action will show themselves up. You don't need to attack someone for any reason, And so, I just think it's a really big shame that these corporations are acting like the way they do. And they're making the decisions that they're making. And it's just a shame, really. I just think, the whole system is messed up. I think Lucasfilm, they're in such a deep, rabbit hole. Just a really big sinkhole. And they're just going down and down, and they're just burying their own grave at this point, and it's a shame. A lot of people don't like Daisy Ridley for this, and it has affected the way I see it, She used to always kind of be on the fans' side, and now she's kind of done this, and it's a shame, really. I mean, I generally don't believe this is what she believes, because she's had too many interviews in the past where she's, always said that she's got lots of support of fans. And even in this interview, she almost kind of says that, but then she goes a different route, and yeah. So it just doesn't seem genuine, what she's saying here. And to me, it just seems very like Kathleen Kennedy is pulling the strings, and yeah, it was quite disappointing to me. I was quite surprised by this, you know? Yeah. I also want to say Ewan McGregor did support Moses Ingram, and he got a lot of hate for that, which I don't see why. She's clearly actually going through something, you know, in that video, and she has evidence. And so this isn't like, you know, every other time where, you know, someone, you know, lies and says they're going through something, but they're not. This is a different situation where she's actually going through it, and you can see that, you know. Yeah. And, you know, he got a lot of hate for that, and it's a shame.
This weekend, Star Wars fans made Obi-Wan Kenobi the most watched Disney Plus original series premiere of all time. And for that, I would say a big thank you. And it just goes to show what this family can do when we all pull together. However, it seems that some of the fan base, from this influential fan base, have decided to attack Moses Ingram online and send her the most horrendous racist DMs. And I heard some of them this morning, and it just broke my heart. Moses is a brilliant actor. She's a brilliant woman, and she's absolutely amazing in this series. She brings so much to the series. She brings so much to the franchise. And it just sickened me to my stomach to hear that this had been happening. I just want to say, as the leading actor in the series, as the executive producer on the series, that we stand with Moses. We love Moses. And if you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind. There's no place for racism in this world. And I totally stand with Moses.
Yeah. And if you think all these actors are like, you know, all these actors and all these big companies are like telling the truth, you know, always do your research, because, you know, someone can easily say something, but if you actually do your research, you'll find that it's completely different, you know. And it's good to do your own research anyway, because after you do your research, that's when you can have a good idea of, you know, something yourself and make your own opinion on it, you know. It's really stupid to just hear something and believe it, you know. Always, you know, look deeper and, you know, find out things for yourself, because if you just jump to conclusion, then, you know, it's not a sign of you being smart. It's a sign of you, you know, being gullible and being manipulated really easily, and people might take advantage of that. So it's always good to, you know, have a deep dive into things on your own. So yeah. I mean, another part that doesn't make sense is that they only do this when something doesn't go well. It's never with things that have gone well.
Coincidence? I think not!
Like Ahsoka, for example. No hate towards Ahsoka. You know, things that have gone well, like The Mandalorian 1 and 2. No hate towards that. You know, there was never any problems there. So it always seems like these people just, you know, that are like calling people, attacking people. It's always when they kind of do, where like Disney kind of do something wrong. That's when these people show up. It's never when, you know, something is really popular, which in most cases these people actually show up. They actually look for, you know, things that are doing well so that they can take people down a notch. So it doesn't make sense. Why are these people suddenly appearing, you know, when just out of the blue, when something just happens to not go well, they just show up for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. And, you know, it's quite obvious what Disney are doing, really. You know, to someone who can see what's going on, it's quite obvious. At the end of the day, Disney are a corporation, and they only care about themselves and money, and that's all they care about. They have one goal: to make money, and they will literally do whatever it takes, legal or illegal. Seriously, they're getting lawsuits all the time because they do some dodgy shit. The amount of times Disney has actually tried to do CGI on a past actor's, you know, face without consent or other dodgy shit is insane. Like, they're really dodgy, and yeah. I could do a video entirely of how dodgy Disney are, but I'd rather not. I've done a lot of Star Wars videos, like, recently. I kind of want to move on from Star Wars. I am working on an Acolyte video, and so that will probably be the next Star Wars video I do, because after this, I want to kind of move on from Star Wars, you know what I mean? Something I want to mention real quick. Something they did with John Boyega, I hope I'm saying that name right, who plays Finn. What they did in the China poster for The Force Awakens, they actually shrunk him down. That's right, because China had a problem with black people for some reason. And so they shrunk him down. Like, how fucked up is that, right? But just so that they can get some extra money for The Force Awakens in China, they're literally willing to do that. It's insane. And yeah, and they also did a similar thing with the Black Panther, and they put a helmet on him. Oh, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you lot in the next one. Peace.